Hello everybody. In this screencast we're gonna continue on requesting permissions in runtime, but I would like to focus on requesting multiple permissions at runtime. For example, if you are want the location to access location services, then you would need to have the find location. So basically you need the find location, and you need to also include the course location. So basically course, or let's say the location, and you need also to add the course location. So basically you need to add both permissions, and these permissions need to be requested at runtime. So basically let's go back here, and this is the code that we had to request one permission, right? So I don't need that. I want to request multiple permissions. So basically, in order to request multiple permissions, you also need to create a launcher, but that launcher is going to request multiple permissions. So how do we do that? Here it is. So basically we go in and create a private activity result launcher, and here you pass it a string array, which is the permissions that you're requesting, and I'll call it multiple permission launcher. Register new, and what I'm interested in, request multiple permissions. Okay, new, and here we are. So now if you look at it, what's going on is it's very similar to that launcher, but instead of request permission, we call it request multiple permissions, and you see that it returns a result. The result is a string array, a string boolean array. So basically this is a string boolean array to tell you which permission and is it granted or no. Okay, so let's say we do a log d, and or maybe we go here and we just say what's the result. I'm just gonna print the result. I'll put a breakpoint to see what is going on here. Demo. Okay, cool. Now I also will change this a little bit such that it's not only the camera permission. Let's say has the location permissions, and basically I'm going to check to see if you have the find location and the course location. So basically the find location equal to this, and I want both of them. So I want you to give me both permissions. So I'm gonna copy this, and here we go, and this is the course, the course location. So basically I am checking to see if you have both. So basically I'll copy this from here. I'll change the code a little bit such that when you click on the button, you check to see do they have the permissions. So I'll say, for example, both permissions granted, instead of, here it is, both permissions granted, and then should show rationale for the let's say the find location, or the other one. So basically I'm just going to, should you show it for this one or this one? So here it is, and say, for example, access course location. So here it is. So should you show it for either of them? And so that's one here, right? And I'm going to say, for example, this is the location permission, and this app needs the location permission for something. So for example, location permission to track your jogging, for example, right? Okay, something like that. And we will request. So basically the request will be a little bit different than what we did here. You see here we are only requesting one, right? But I don't want to request one. I would like to request multiple. So basically I will use the multiple launcher. So here it is. Go here, and we'll do multiple request launcher, launch new string array, and here it is. So basically I want the course and the find. So basically here it is. This is the find location, and manifest dot location, the course location. So here it is. So that's how you request the permissions, and similarly this is how you request the permissions. So now what happens is that when you come in here, you are going to have a result, and that result indicates which permissions were allowed and which permissions were not. Okay, so now let's run this and see what happens. So we run it. I'm gonna run it on 31, the latest. Here it is. Now when I click on request permission, it shows me now, do you want to give them the precise permission or the approximate permissions, the course one, and then similarly allow or don't allow. So now let me run it in debug mode so that I could show you what the result is. So I'm gonna run it in debug mode. Okay, let's run it in debug mode. And here we are. And basically I request the permission. Let's say I allow it as approximate. Okay. And I will say while using the application. And so basically when it comes here, I have a result that shows up, right? This is my result, and it shows that you allowed the course, but you didn't allow the fine. All right, good. So basically you allowed the course and you didn't allow the fine. Now, because we picked the approximate, right? So now we go back and I will run the app. I click on request permission again, and you see because both of them are not allowed, now it's only showing that the precise. So change to precise or keep the approximate location. So I'll say keep the approximate location. It takes me back here. You see here? Now we'll run it again. All right, so here we are. Now you see now the show request rationale is showing. Click OK, and also I would like to keep the approximate location. All right. Now when I click on request again, okay, so now let's run this. You see one of them is true, the other one is false. Yes, we run this again. I click on request permission, and you see it takes me directly to here. Request permission takes me directly to here, and the rationale is the one, and you can see it's taking me directly to here because whenever you click, it takes you here. So basically, you see I click here, it takes me directly to the log. Right, so basically because you already denied giving them the precise location twice, right? So the same approach. Okay, so you can see now that this is the result, and the result has the fine location is false, you didn't allow that, and the course location is true. So what if the thing is with the location permission, you cannot allow the fine without allowing the course, because there is a hierarchy between them. So if you allow the course, if you allow the fine, you automatically allow the course, right? So basically, we could say, for example, if this application, you want to make sure that the fine location is allowed, right? So you could check because you have the result. Or let's say you want to check to see if all the permissions are allowed. So basically, we can create a boolean, and for example, all granted, right? Say for example is, let's say it starts with true. And then for each string key in the result dot get key set or key set, then what I could do is I could say all granted. Yeah, you can do it arithmetically. You could say all granted equals all granted ended with the result dot get key, which is a boolean. So basically you are ending all of them, right? So basically right now, if all is granted, then you will use. Then you could say use the feature or use the location, and then else you could say, for example, I would like you to give me. So I'm going to check the fine location only because I'm only interested in the fine location. I need the fine location. So I could say if this one, it's the same story. If it's not allowed, if I don't have to show that it's denied, so basically all of them are denied, and it's that, then I will take them to the settings page, right? So I'll go here and I'll copy this code that we had before, and I'm gonna show them the settings page. So basically the location permission, the app needs the fine location permission at this time to function, and please allow that permission, take me there, right? So you could see here I could check to see if everything is granted or no. Let me put a breakpoint here. We already have a breakpoint at the top, so let's put a breakpoint here, and we'll run this again to get an idea. Here it is, and basically here we are. I request the permission, and I'm going to say only keep it approximate location. There it is. So basically all granted you see is false, and you can see the result here. So let's say we try to step over, and you see here that boom, takes us out, so we're good because we only denied it once. I'll run it again. Here it is. I request the permission. Now you see here that it's showing the should show rationale is true. Click OK. It's showing that. I will say only keep the approximate one. It takes us here. Now you will see that it will show us the pop-up. So let's run this, and you see it's showing us the pop-up because we are here now. And I go to settings. Now I could be able to allow permissions. You see under location there is I could allow the precise one in order for me to be able to use the application. So you could see now the flow for multiple permissions is very similar to single permissions, but you have to handle the situation of what permissions were allowed and what were not allowed by the user, and what to do based on the features that you want to allow and the features that you don't want to allow. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.